This episode is adapting and named after Chapter 6, Journey from Heartstopper Volume 4.
So do you have a favorite episode from this season that they shot?
Yes, episode 4, and I'm sure we've all been talking about episode 4, I think, so everyone's probably tired of us going on about it by now. But yeah, episode 4, I think is very different. It's got a slightly different format to what we know from Heartstopper. So structurally, it feels quite different, and it was a real challenge to film. There was a lot more scenes. I seem to remember. I think most Heartstopper episodes have like 40-ish scenes, and then episode 4 in season 3 has like 70-something scenes.
Wow.
So it was a real production challenge for everyone, and with a lot of emotional scenes as well. But yeah, everyone did an incredible job.
What's your favorite episode of Heartstopper that you filmed? Just out of curiosity. I know it's a hard one.
Probably episode 4 of season 3.
Okay, beautiful one.
Yeah, I think I've still got a couple of hours before I see him. It's a long drive and Charlie wants to get home and unpacked and stuff.
Nick throws his socks into the laundry basket through a mini basketball hoop, and I think that's pretty funny.
I'm so excited to see him. I can't believe it's been 2 months.
Yeah, same.
It's been the first season where we've had like a really big time span. There was a little bit of time elapsing in season 1, but season 2 was a very concentrated time period. And so to sort of, it does give it a different rhythm, I think, that like suddenly you're kind of going forward. When you start at 4, for example, there's been a big time jump, which I think makes it feel different and was exciting to do.
How are you feeling?
I don't know. It's been a long 2 months.
Can't believe you're leaving me for 3 whole weeks. Gonna be the longest we spent apart since we first met.
Have you done any journaling?
I still don't really think I'm a journaling sort of person.
Everyone can journal, Nicholas.
I think it's really clever how they made Tara convince Nick to journal on the show. Charlie has a reason to journal as it's therapy homework, but like Nick said, I never really saw him as the type of person to journal, even though it's a very convenient storytelling device. This way it all makes sense.
It helps you process your emotions.
Oh, I think she is so full of depth. There's like a lot to her. Different, like she's like an onion. It's got layers. which as an actor is a dream to play. You can like connect into her sensitivity, her vulnerability. I love how much she loves her friends, and I think I relate to that, and I like how much she cares about like everyone around her. And also some of the things that she goes through, I'm like, oh my god, I did that too. But through Tara's journey, I'm like, oh my god, I've learned how to deal with these things, and she's taught me so much. So yeah, Tara's been an honor. And I remember reading her monologue the very first season when I got the tape for it. It was the monologue in the music room, and I thought, wow, there is something about this that I need to be a part of. And it just clicked. So yeah, she's an amazing character to play.
And you play her brilliantly.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You got to say that though. Yeah, you should have seen me before. I was like, sure, you dropped it. I'm good.
If I didn't journal every day, I'd literally have a breakdown.
All right, you don't have to give me the whole pitch again.
Now what I don't agree with is him just opening it and starting on some random page in the middle of it. He stated he hasn't journaled before, so that's all empty, right? Start on the first page!
You know that saying, things get worse before they get better? I think I understand that now.
Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
I'm so glad you liked Ep 4. We all felt it was pretty special while we were working on it. I remember feeling very clear about the structure of it from very early on, as I was basing it almost exactly on the comic. Seeing Nick's POV, then rewinding and seeing Charlie's POV. I toyed with the idea of the narration instead being Charlie talking to Jeff and Nick talking to someone too, not sure who, but that ended up feeling more unnatural and taking us emotionally out of the scenes too much. The journal entries are more detached from the action on screen, which allows us to remain in what's happening on screen and be really present in both Nick and Charlie's journeys.
Back in September, Charlie had a GP appointment. He said he hates going to the doctors. I mean, who enjoys going to the doctors? Especially for something like this. Must have gone okay, because he got referred to an eating disorder service. But the first appointment for that wasn't until January.
One thing we touch on in the season is the importance of early intervention. Charlie is very lucky that he has people around him who care very much. They notice what's going on, they encourage him to seek help. But even as he does so, he ends up on a waiting list and he's not able to access the support that he needs immediately. And this causes his eating disorder to get a lot worse. It's so important for people to be able to access that support early. That's when it's the most effective, before things get a lot worse. That is one of the pillars of Beat's ethos. They very much stress the importance of early intervention and getting people the help that they need exactly when they need it.
Things started to get really bad after that. His eating disorder got worse.
Can you just stop trying?
You can talk to us. Yeah, we're just worried about you.
What can you stop? I don't have to tell you everything.
Then he started getting really angry, and then he stopped talking to me about it.
This tree is my favourite though. They like change it for all the seasons that we're shooting.
Well, I think I might just add one leaf so I know. Do you know the best part? That's also an art department credit.
That's more than me.
He started skipping school a lot.
Charlie? Sorry, that's so ridiculous.
I kind of just forgot to mention it before, but they've changed Nick and Charlie's text thread to iMessage instead of Instagram for this season because people kept complaining about it and saying it's unrealistic. The funny side effect of that is that it seems like graduating from Instagram to messaging now looks like some serious relationship milestone.
It was a spinning wheel that was just getting faster, and it was becoming unbearable for him.
Sorry. I didn't mean to.
And, you know, he told me he used to self-harm.
It's okay. I just feel so shit all the time. I've been so horrible to you and everyone else. And I hate feeling like this.
The question was about the depiction of Charlie's struggles with mental health and how you felt about the pressures of depicting those and not wanting it to be stereotypical and wanting to be sensitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that question was very much in the forefront of my mind while I was writing that story. The challenge in writing that storyline, both in the comics and in the show, was to find the fine line between it becoming triggering and gratuitous and miserable for no reason, or skimming over the darkness entirely. There's a sort of line in between those that I really needed to find. And for me, the key there was figuring out what to show and what we should never see, what we should just have explained to us. And I think, like, I've done a lot of research over the many years that I've been writing this story, and I've learned a lot about what things we should never see on screen because they are harmful for people. But we also had a lot of input from an eating disorder charity called Beat. So when I'd written the scripts, we sent them to Beat, and then they gave us feedback about like what bits were working really well, what bits might be stereotypical or not representative of an authentic experience as well. So yeah, had a lot of help and advice about that. But yeah, it was the challenge of this season, but I think we did okay, hopefully.
I'm sorry.
You can see it on the monitor here, a really emotional scene between Joe and Kit's characters, Charlie and Nick, talking about some of the really difficult themes that will be coming up in season 3.
Thank you, Kevin. Action!
What's that like to prepare for those sorts of scenes?
I think it's just all about authenticity and trying to make your portrayal of a topic that is quite intense and also quite close to some people's hearts as true as possible.
Take a 5-minute break, all right, Charlie?
I think it's definitely a really wonderful thing that we're in a time in the world where we can make a show like Heartstopper. And just hopefully it leads the way for more quiz stories to be told. I read up about it online as well. It said you had to make them feel cared for and not judge them. It didn't feel like enough, but I guess I tried. I tried to just be there.
I'm going to say Darcy because I think that they are a really interesting character, have a really great arc, especially this season and season 2. And they're just a bit of fun.
If you could choose a season that identifies with your character, what would you say?
I think Charlie's in fall/autumn.
Mhm.
I mean, spring would be the one because his last name's Spring, but I think he's actually more fall or winter.
Right, he likes his cardigans.
He knew the compulsions made no sense, but he didn't know how to stop them. Neither did I.
It was an accident.
I know.
This conversation is really vague and out of context, so we don't know exactly what they're talking about here in the context of the show. This scene is similar to this page in the comic. If this is meant to be that scene, we're just hiding the whole situation with Charlie needing to go to the hospital because of self-harm. That was an event in Solitaire, and there were details about that hospital stay in the original version of This Winter. This part was removed from the revised version.
When Nick came to see me in the hospital, the normal hospital that I stayed at for a while before going to the psychiatric one, I asked him why he hadn't broken up with me yet. He looked at me like I'd suggested I wanted to die all over again and said, I can't just stop being in love with you. And then he cried and held me, and that was that.
This is the most obvious example of Alice toning down the graphic nature of Charlie's struggle over the years in the different versions of the story to avoid triggering people. There are varying opinions on what the best approach to depicting self-harm in media should be, but they clearly chose to rather be safe than sorry with the Netflix adaptation. Seeing self-harm on TV may trigger people to self-harm. It's been a long time since Alice first published Solitaire in 2014, and she's clearly changed her mind and approach about this topic multiple times. In the comic there was also this scene of Nick staying over after this happened.
I just feel so stupid. I know, it's not your fault. But I can't stop it. Do you think maybe you should tell your parents?
Dad said it had to be my decision.
Do you think it'd help?
Yeah, I think that's the key thing for season 3 is that we wanted to take Nick and Charlie and show what happens after you've said, I love you, and the feelings are really intense. You then have to get to know the real person, and it's not just the sort of all of the rom-com tropes that are the beginning, the honeymoon period. It's hard work sometimes, and I think seeing teenagers go through that and understand that sometimes they can't be everything and fix any problem that someone they love might be going through, and actually you have to sort of look at it in a slightly more adult way, and seeing Nick and Charlie kind of realize that together I find incredibly moving, and that feels very universal to me. I feel like we're always learning those truths about life, whatever age we are, but it's lovely to see it through these beautiful performances Kit and Joe give this time.
Not really, but I get to skip school for a bit, so...
Quote from DOP Simona Shushna.
Heartstopper Series 3 had a tonal shift from the previous seasons, particularly Episode 4, where we dive into Charlie's healing process from an eating disorder. Andy Newberry and I talked about the isolation both Charlie and Nick feel in dealing with Charlie's anxiety. We decided on a particular camera height, angles, and closeness to the actors to create the feeling of being trapped and that intimacy with the characters, so the audience gets to witness and participate emotionally. For a show that's primarily handheld and spontaneous, we often embraced grounded dolly shots, static camera, restrained on the amount of handheld, and economical ways of approaching the scenes. Some of the scenes in Episode 4 were approached like a character-driven indie drama, which was fun to explore within the format of television.
Don't cry. If you cry, I'll cry.
Twiddle up. Twiddle cams on. So just gave a scathing look.
Quote from Joe Locke when he was asked what he learned from doing season 3.
I just learned how to work through being sick constantly. I was ill for most of the shoot. You never had time to get better because you've got 2 days off at the weekend and then back in at 5 a.m.
Not sure I can help it.
about 2 hours? 2 hours. Wasn't there anywhere closer?
In the comic, it was specified that the nearest available space at a ward was a 2-hour drive away. Nick's wearing the same outfit he wore in Season 1, Episode 6.
It was weird being at school without Charlie. He wasn't allowed his phone in there, so I couldn't even ask how he was.
If Nick's gonna do anything, it's to sit in this beanbag and do research.
Guess I tried to keep myself busy, or distracted, or both. I wasn't very good at it, though. Do you think he's okay? At least he doesn't have to wait until January. He's probably made some friends as well.
Yes, dear son, I am also definitely here. As your loving and supporting and very present mother. You can talk to me anytime.
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, how much do you play this game?
The game they're playing seems to be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I haven't played it myself, but I looked at videos and it seems to match.
Where's Charlie been? He's missed like the last 4 practices. He's just off sick at the moment.
Shit, must be bad if he's been off this long.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Seriously?
What's going on? I just can't really talk about it.
All good, mate.
Yeah, we're here for you.
I'm actually so thrilled we got this little scene with the rugby lads. As you know, I have such a soft spot for them, and I think it's really good for Nick to have his own old friends outside of Charlie's friend group too. Apparently you can just stop playing for a second, but I thought there was a timer in the corner of the game, so it's still a bit weird they didn't pause for the conversation.
Charlie said I could tell our friends what was going on. He didn't want them all visiting, but they still found a way to show their support.
And that gives a whole different angle to how Tori says in Solitaire that Nick is okay in her books because he's the only one who visited Charlie in the hospital. Tori thought Charlie's friends just didn't care enough because she's a pessimist with a predisposition to see the worst in people. Also, Alice hadn't written Charlie's friend group at all yet when she wrote Solitaire.
Pretty books.
It doesn't really come up anywhere, but astronomy is one of the 3 interests listed on Charlie's profile in the Heartstopper yearbook, along with classical Greek literature and indie rock. That's also why Charlie has this phone case with planets on it.
Maybe we could put some self-care stuff, like face masks. Love it. What about board games?
I think there's a feeling of a big thing in Heartstopper is the idea of found family, and that's something that we really feel the full kind of extent of in season 3 is just like a found family who will look out for each other no matter what, and I think that's a really beautiful thing, and it's something that I think people all over the world can often relate to is finding people who you really love and you really care about, and it's not always the people that you're sort of born with, and sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't, and that's okay.
No, wait, Top Trumps.
Top Trumps is a card game where you win by having the best stats. Because the cards are simple and easily customizable for many different themes, there seem to be countless themed packs around.
Do you think they make gay Top Trumps?
I don't know.
There isn't a gay Top Trumps pack, but I found one with drag queens instead, so that's something.
I like her lightness. She's super upbeat, and I come away from playing her feeling really good about the day.
Mhm.
And if it's so strange, it's like if you smile enough, even if it's acting, you sort of walk away feeling a bit better. So it gives me a little boost to play Darcy. I like her deadpan humor. I like her, she says things at the wrong time. She puts her foot in it always. And her friends still like her, which is crazy.
I'll make a book list for him.
Isaac is reading The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. It's a retelling of the Achilles mythos from the point of view of Achilles' male lover Patroclus. This book focuses heavily on the love story between them. This is a very popular historical romance book. We already saw the text thread where Charlie recommended this book to him, and we'll come back to this book later in the episode.
Yeah, he's a massive bookworm. It's something that I've learnt from him. I'm definitely becoming more of a bookworm. And he reads a book this season called The Song of Achilles, which I'd actually read before I even knew it was going to be in the show. So that was really cool. That was kind of the first time that I was like, I've already read that one.
That's great.
Yeah, like I say, they normally bring out these crazy, crazy books. But it's nice getting to have like a bit of a say in. Over the last few seasons, I've really kind of had some input in what Isaac reads, and it's all a bit of a joke. Like, no one reads that much.
What about movies? Does he have access to a Blu-ray player at all?
Yeah, probably.
What's a Blu-ray player?
It was a DVD player in the comic. It's funny how because Heartstopper has been going on for so long without being set in any particular year, the technology and culture just keeps updating as the story develops. Comic Nick and Charlie would be in their 30s by now if the story started when it was first written.
Did Sahar tell you she's having a massive Halloween party?
Yeah. Imogen keeps on sending me couples costume ideas.
So you're gonna come then?
I don't know.
Could use a night out. I know I could.
Yeah, it just feels weird.
This scene features a very rare appearance of the autumn version of the Truan badge on Nick's blazer. Sorry the picture is so blurry, this is pretty much the clearest view we get of it ever.
Without him.
I've seen some people interpret Nick wearing his blazer after Charlie leaves as some kind of sign that he's sad and needs comfort. I personally just think it's getting colder out.
And then Kit, you got to wear it's Captain America costume, right? I feel like people are going to be pretty excited about that.
Hopefully, yeah. I don't know. I was excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
And is it only a matter of time before you join the MCU in some capacity?
I don't know. I think he's doing a very good job at that. So I'm gonna just let him do that, and I find it very scary, that whole world. So yeah, maybe I'll see how he does and sort of
see
just
how
like
you're awful then. You can...
but I'll see. You know, I think he's loved it. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, I have.
But yeah, so I have no plans to, in the near future. But who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they'll see the Captain America and go, "Wow,
that's the one."
Wow. Yeah. No, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Is the closest we're going to see you to a superhero from Heartstopper in the Captain America costume, or?
I think certainly for a while. Yeah. As far as I know, I very much kind of Joe's, doing that, and that's. I'm kind of happy to watch from the sidelines for that for a little while.
The Captain America costume suited you. You looked great.
Thank you. I mean, big shoes to fill in that regard. Right. So yeah, it was pretty. That was fun time to be able to do that. It was freezing but good. Yeah.
Quote from Kit Connor when asked about the most memorable moments of season 3.
It was the Halloween party for me. I got to dress like Captain America, which was weirdly less comfortable than I thought it was going to be, but still fun. Everyone was just dressed like an idiot.
Alice drew this Halloween art while they were filming the Halloween scenes. Nick is feeling uncertain and vulnerable, so he wears a costume of a superhero that uses a defensive weapon, a shield, to bolster his own confidence. Of course, that doesn't quite work.
Nicholas, you're supposed to be my cat.
I dyed my hair red, right before Barbie. Really? And then I saw Barbie and I was like, oh no. I'm obsessed with this colour. What the
Such a transformation. Wow.
She's so blonde.
Oh, that's nice. What have you done there? Yeah, I like that.
That one is fun.
In the Bridget Bardot way, yeah.
Obsessed. Whoa.
The Barbie movie was obviously a big deal when this season was being made.
On July 21st, will you be seeing Barbie or Oppenheimer?
I'll be seeing both. I'll be doing a double bill, for sure. I think I'll be going with Oppenheimer first, and then I think I'll be watching Barbie in the afternoon, I reckon, just to brighten it up, brighten up my spirits. This is all I could find.
This 50 to 60 pound Captain America costume was something you just had lying around? Sure, it's not at all that you just didn't want to dress up as Ken.
Can we agree on something? What about the photos?
Don't worry, I think you look great.
You alright?
You need to calm down.
We agree.
Quote from DOP Simona Shushna.
Season 3 saw a lot of parties, so I decided to create a palette for each. Halloween was fun to create. We stayed away from orange. The closest to the warm range we got was red, and threw in very few orange accents to counterbalance the blue, which is my favorite color. I embrace the coolness of blues, pinks, purples, cyan, at times green. All colors achieved in camera, no color grade wizardry. One of the things I am very passionate about is to work with bold, saturated color, and Heartstopper gave me multiple opportunities, starting with the prom in Season 2, Episode 8, where I even used UV lighting. Check out Elle and Tao dance, lit a Baby Queen concert, but the range there was wider. I had the rainbow colors as my inspiration. I wanted Halloween to feel overwhelming and visually overstimulating for both the characters and the audience. We lit this entire house with no pre-light and had one day to complete the scenes. My team did amazing. Thank you for having my back. And huge thanks to our wonderful director, Andy Newbury, the best partner in crime one would hope for. I wanted to bring as much color into the season as possible, something I've always explored in my work. In Season 2, I created a custom-made lighting rig for the prom, so we can shoot 360, which had a rainbow color palette and also used UV lighting. I incorporated colorful lighting throughout Season 2, and I continued that into Season 3, especially with the multiple parties the characters attend. For example, the Halloween party was lit entirely with LED lighting and had a reduced palette of blues, purples, pinks, greens. We deliberately excluded all warm colors. The designer and I were trying to make the parties feel different visually. Then for the New Year's party, the lighting was more vibrant with warmer tones and more reds, reflecting Charlie's healing journey across the season.
I'm making a video for Charlie so he knows how much we all love him.
I really loved shooting with Will Gao, who plays Tao, in the Halloween episode.
Oh, that was so fun.
Yeah, we have some lovely scenes, the two of us actually in this season, which is always a pleasure, and yeah, I think the Halloween, I had some great moments with him as well, but also in this case I was dressed as Captain America, so that made it a bit more fun.
Nicholas Nelson, what do you have to say to your boyfriend Charlie Spring?
But what single moment, one single scene or line or cut are you proudest of in this season?
I mean, the moment I think that comes to mind is at the Halloween party when Tao's got his video camera and he sort of turns it towards Nick, and then the whole world sort of vanishes and Nick sees Charlie in front of him. That was like, I remember writing that for episode 4, and which was a really different episode to everything we'd done, and I wrote that little moment, and something suddenly clicked in my mind where I was like, I could do anything in this episode. Like, this is so weird, and like we've never done anything like this before, but I can do what I want right now, and that just really excited me as a writer, and then obviously seeing it come to life, it looks so stunning in the show, so yeah.
Quote from director Andy Newbury.
Episode 4 has been one of my favorite things to film, and it was obvious from first reading the script what a special episode it would be. The scope of the storytelling in this 30-minute episode is amazing, and I loved getting the chance to translate that to screen. Thanks again to Simona Sushna for her amazing work on these eps, and Kara Spared for creating brilliant set after set, and the best Halloween party ever.
Hi, Charlie. I think my first reaction was just, again, episode 4. I was just thinking, wow, it's really awesome that that Alice has kind of shaken it up a little bit and done this thing that could be really, really, really special and very moving. I love you.
Isn't it wild that this crazy over-the-top fantasy Charlie had in episode 1 actually came true?
And I'm in love with you. Do you want to go out with me? I want to be with you forever.
Well, you had it here first, folks. Nick Nelson loves Charlie Spring.
That's great.
Oh, cool rabbit costume. I'm clearly Frank from Donnie Darko.
Why are you wearing that stupid funny suit?
Why are you wearing that stupid man suit? watched it last week.
Honestly, I gotta say, since we already know he's forced everyone to watch Donnie Darko at least twice now, I think he's going overboard with the forced rewatch if nobody except him liked it and Isaac doesn't even remember.
Or maybe he just thinks you'll force Nick to watch Donnie Darko like you did with us.
Shut up. It's a good movie. It's just complicated.
I've only forced each of my nearest and dearest to watch Donnie Darko 1 time per person. If you want to watch it many times, do it with 1 friend at a time. That's my pro tip. Even though I know Donnie Darko is a whole different trip the second time you watch it.
No, we didn't. Were you asleep again?
Isaac is reading Emma by Jane Austen. He's dressed as Emma's love interest, Mr. Knightley, as confirmed by costume designer Adam D in his Instagram post. He's had Emma on his mind a lot since they watched the movie as well with Charlie in episode 2. Emma is the story of a young lady who likes to play matchmaker with varying success and ultimately finds humility and love in the process.
Were you asleep again?
Oh, I might have been asleep.
I swear.
I think a lot of alcohol was involved in that, and definitely because Sahar already had feelings for Imogen, so alcohol and, you know, those underlying feelings are probably not a good mix, and that's what led to that messy makeout.
I think that face would fit nicely in a dictionary with the definition for gobsmacked. Tara and Darcy finally got the chance to be Fiona and Shrek. Not for prom.
You mean we can't be Fiona and Shrek?
And she, you know, you can get like dimple piercing. Right.
Fiona!
What are you doing in my swamp?
Yeah, I was just making sure she's alright.
According to costume designer Adam D, Elle is dressed as pop art. Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
I love Halloween, and I was like, okay, I must get Halloween into the show because there's not a Halloween in the comics. Also, just the scene itself, it being such a chaotic and painful moment for Nick, it was really fun to write, and I think they enjoyed filming. It looks amazing. I wanted to spend forever in that set.
Quote from writer Alice Oseman when asked about her favorite scene.
I immediately think of the whole Halloween sequence, partly because I love Halloween, but it's directed in such a cool way. It's such a stressful, chaotic moment for Nick as a character. It looks stunning. That's one of my favorites, I think.
Everyone kisses everyone when they're drunk. I'm allowed to experiment.
I think I'm really passionate about like showing like nuanced people on screen, and like that people can have, everyone is a bit villainous and everyone's also very sweet as well sometimes, and you know, messy, and that well, especially at that age you don't know your personality, it's all crazy and up in the air. So yeah, hope.
And fun to play.
This is literally like when I got a boyfriend and she got mad at me for literally no reason.
My favorite memory of filming this season of Heartstopper would be like being able to play the maturity that Elle has this season. It was so good because it was like I'm playing myself basically. I'm kind of maturing with Elle every season, so that's nice. And then also like the amazing memories we had on set. The Halloween scene was so fun. We did everything this season. I also think my acting has developed and blossomed a lot as like from season 1 to now. It's so nice to see and to grow as an actor with the show as well.
We had lots of scenes this season because of the way the chronology unfolds, like we've been talking about. So there was a lot to do, and I was really conscious that we were asking a lot of the young actors, you know, in terms of very big dramatic scenes, but we really had to shoot it at quite a pace. So, you know, for example, I think Kit does what you just talked about, Alice, beautifully in season 3, which is that kind of, he delivers that truthfulness to Nick's situation, which is he's got these issues around people pleasing and he always wants everyone to be okay. And that probably goes back to his childhood and the bullying that was there with his brother and his parents and all that sort of stuff. And I think just in little kind of amazing sort of expressions that Kit's able to do, you just get all that history and it feels authentic and believable. So yeah, I'm very proud of it.
Quote from Kit Connor.
It was tricky to see Nick with this real sense of melancholy. He feels like he's lost an arm or something. But it's really important that you see Nick like that, because then you see him later in the season trying to work out how to be more himself and more comfortable with himself when Charlie isn't there.
Mind if I join?
Quote from Kit Connor.
One of my favorite scenes is the Halloween party, where Nick gets a bit overwhelmed and has a moment with Tao. Will is one of my best friends, and we've always kind of been hoping that Nick and Tao get more time together. I think it's a really beautiful moment to have someone Nick originally had a bit of tension with, and now see that they're at a point where the two of them are just united in their love for Charlie.
What was my favourite scene to film so far? I'm guessing that is...
In Heartstopper?
In Heartstopper, because otherwise that would be quite tricky.
Well, I think it's either the scene with you and Will on this season in Halloween, or you and Will on the benches in season 1 or 2. I don't remember where it was. I don't know.
I'll give you that.
Is there a scene you think fans would be excited to see in season 3?
I think all of episode 4 is like the best episode of Heartstopper that has been made.
I think that it's important when you're doing a scene like that to kind of put yourself in a certain headspace and then be able to brush it off as soon as they call cut, really, or as soon as they call the wrap of the day. You know, you can kind of just go home and leave that behind.
At the start of November, Charlie phoned me from the clinic for the first time. Well, next year I'm going to make you go as Spider-Man.
Your Marvel agenda is never going to work on me.
So there's obviously a few Marvel references and jokes that are made in this series. I'm just wondering, is that like an in-joke now, considering Agatha all along?
I think you'd have to ask Alice that one. I'm sure she probably has added a few, just like, because I think on season 2, the day we first made a Marvel joke was like the day after I found out I'd got the part, so no one else knew. So it definitely didn't start as that. I think like in the books, Charlie's always hated Marvel stuff, but it's fun to be able to mess with it now.
Yeah, it's a great extra layer, I feel, when you're a viewer.
No, I mean, I remember when our showrunner for Agatha, Jack Schaefer, watched season 2 and saw the Marvel joke in it. She sent me a text saying that she laughed out loud because she loved it. I thought it was really funny.
Even if I go as Mary Jane, do the upside down kiss?
Okay, maybe I can be persuaded. So I have anorexia and OCD.
Oh.
Yeah, there's not really an awkward way to say that.
I guess that makes sense.
I mean, I was a bit surprised about the OCD, but...
And I think for me, I also love that OCD is part of it. I think often it's sort of overlooked and how things get tied in together.
Yeah.
I feel like this show keeps helping people understand tough stuff in their lives. It's sort of a bit like an education show.
That is kind of the real strength of it, is the fact that it tries to make these things that feel quite confusing and quite hard to understand, both from an inside and an outside perspective. And it kind of tries to just go, firstly, it's okay to not understand. That's normal. But then it also goes, you know, let's try and take it step by step and see what we can learn. So, yeah, I think it's, I feel like that's a very fair thing to say about the show.
It's like I have all these rules in my head about food, and if I don't follow them, I feel like I'm gonna die. Sorry, I have to laugh about it or I'll just cry.
Well, even if you do have anorexia and OCD, the word sorry is still banned.
Oh, can't I play the mental illness card now?
No, the S-word rule still applies to the mentally ill. I'd visit him with his family a couple times a week after that. Part of me wished I could go every day, but he needed space.
What?
Nothing. Still not sure if Tori likes me.
These car rides seem like a pretty suffocating silent ordeal without Oliver there. I wonder if Nick got to know Tori better at all in this version. Surely they must have had some conversations. I hope they did.
I've been dying to tell you.
Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
So the situation with the card was that we realized very, very shortly before we shot the scene that we didn't have any content for the card. So a crew member from the art department asked me on set if I could very quickly write the messages, which I did in my notes app, and then sent that as a screenshot to him, where he, or someone on his team, I can't confirm, wrote them into the card itself. I didn't get a photo of the finished card because it all happened very fast and suddenly we were shooting the scene. I don't think I even saw the card interior until it was literally on set, but I do still have the note note on my phone with all of the messages written out. It's a shame they didn't all appear on screen, but hey, sometimes not every detail makes it into the final thing. Here they all are.
From Nick.
Hi, Char. You are so strong, and you will get through this because you're amazing. I love you so, so much, and I'm always here for you. I miss you, and I can't wait for you to come home when you're ready to. I love you. Love, Nick.
From Darcy.
Hey, Charlie. Life can be so shit sometimes, but we will always fight back. You're one of the coolest people I know, and you're going to come back more powerful than ever. Love you, Darcy.
From Elle.
Dear Charlie, we all love you so much and can't wait to see you soon. I'm so sorry things have been so hard. Things will get better. I know it. I can't wait for Christmas movie nights with you and the boys. Elle.
From Tao.
Charlie, school is so weird without my BFF. I miss you so much, little guy. Please look after yourself or I'll be very cross. Love you so much, Charlie, and hope you like your present. Can't wait to hear what you think. Tao.
From Tara.
Hi, Charlie. Sending you so much love and strength. You're an incredible person, and we all care about you so much. I really hope you feel better soon. Love you lots and lots. Tara.
From Isaac.
Hey, Charlie. Miss you so, so much. I'm so sorry I didn't try and help more, but the fact that you asked for help yourself just goes to show what a strong person you are. I love you. Get back here soon so we can watch Emma again. Love, Isaac.
From Imogen.
Dear Charlie, love you so much. You're an incredible and inspiring person, and what you're going through now will only make you stronger. #warrior. Lots of love, Imogen.
From Sahar.
Charlie, I miss my music buddy. I miss our chats about good bands. I really hope you're doing okay and starting to feel better. Love you loads, pal. Sahar.
Official Top Chumps on Instagram.
If you've been watching the latest season of Heartstopper, you may have spotted this pack of gay top trumps. Sadly, this was just for the show and isn't on sale, but we love being part of Charlie's care package.
I knew he wasn't magically better or anything like that. I know it doesn't work like that, and I knew staying away from home was a risk. It could have been horrible. For some people, it doesn't help at all.
What on earth is Nick supposed to be looking at here for so long that's supposedly more interesting to him than Charlie?
I was kind of looking at how to get the cover art from Volume 4 sort of somehow nodded to in the episodes. So I found a way. I don't know if you can remember it, but it's the one with Charlie and Nick in the like kind of the red and purple tones. So when we did the scenes at the eating clinic in episode 4, Nick first turns up to visit Charlie. That's the first time
on
in
the
a month.
table. Oh yeah, at the bench.
Those outfits. That's the reason for the choice in the kind of like the red that Charlie's in and the purple Carhartt hoodie that Nick's in is kind of like a slight nod cover.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, it's kind of watching that episode. It kind of just seems to have worked really nicely, and the colours and so that was quite a nice season 3 outfit that I really liked for them both.
Can you kiss me, please?
Maybe it's just me hoping for the best, but honestly, I think it helped.
Nick's not using his fountain pen here, even though him preferring it was such an important plot point.
My pen just exploded. I really do.
Because in the show Nick's journal entry ends when Charlie comes home and not just before the New Year's party, we missed out on having these fan favorite panels from the comic adapted. No shoes, obviously. We even saw him take them off earlier this episode. Shoes. Why?
I guess a lot's happened since I last wrote anything.
Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
Well, in episode 4, we completely break the form of the show. We do something really different. I think in a normal Heartstopper episode, there's usually about 40 scenes, and in episode 4, there's like 70-something scenes. The whole episode is very montage-y style, and it plays with the chronology. We go through 3 months of time, and then we go all the way back, and we go through it again from a different perspective. We also introduced narration for the first time. I was always quite anti-narration in Heartstopper. I was like, I'd never want to hear a teenage voice narrating what's going on. Then eventually we did do that in episode 4. It's a really different vibe to any other episode of Heartstopper. We decided to do that because that's very much the style of it in the comics. In the comics, we see Charlie's darkest period through journal entries. It's inspired by that. When we got to that point in the writing, I was like, how are we going to do this section? This isn't like Heartstopper at all. How are we going to turn this into an episode? Then we thought, actually, this is the moment to do something really different. This episode could be something really special.
The past few months have not been great.
Have you been exercising excessively?
No.
Do you make yourself sick?
No.
One thing that's special about this particular representation of eating disorders is that for Charlie, it's not at all about losing weight or going for a particular look or ideal weight. The weight loss is a side effect, not the goal. I don't think this type of eating disorder is seen in media very much, and many people may not even have known you can develop an ED for reasons unrelated to looks. Of course, we don't know all the details of what's going on in Charlie's mind, but his situation isn't what we most typically see.
Would you say that you're thinking about food almost all of the time?
Yes, I think that's accurate.
Usually they wouldn't have the parent in the room for this. I asked the doctor, I know, but it's a case-by-case basis. It's interesting that Charlie has his mum here. Does he feel more comfortable with her there? He's definitely having a hard time answering the questions, so maybe he didn't want to be alone.
I said that was accurate, wasn't it, Charlie?
My therapist said I should write about it in my journal.
Charlie has a childhood plushie called Kitty in the comics. Alice was asked on Tumblr if there was a deliberate decision not to have Kitty in the show. Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
It wasn't a decision, it just happened. Even though I try to oversee everything, things always slip through the cracks, and we miss things and forget things occasionally. By the time Kitty was even a thought in my brain, we'd likely already started filming in Charlie's bedroom and it was already too late. Sorry to those who are disappointed. There's cute context behind the lemur teddy though, so you have that to look forward to.
We did also have this random plushie in season 1 as a Kitty placeholder.
Charlie, I've asked you 3 times. I need you to come downstairs. Get out here. It's too much.
It's hard to talk about it, though. Staying in the clinic for a couple of months was not my plan, but I should count myself lucky that my parents could even afford it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really important thing to be aware of. I think that, you know, Charlie's aware of how, like, his privilege and having a family that can afford to send him somewhere and to get the help is obviously a big issue that the medical system can't always do that, and that's something that is not right.
Yeah.
And that I went to one that actually managed to help me. From what I've read online, some people come out of these places even worse than when they went in.
Joe Locke and Jenny Walser discussed whether or not becoming a spokesperson for the issues portrayed in the show is something Joe thought about. Joe.
No, it's not. I have thought about the importance of the topic, but not about becoming a spokesperson for it. I only want to become a spokesperson for something that I feel like I can be a good spokesperson for. I guess you do it to an extent through your acting.
Jenny.
And it's kind of dangerous when that line is blurred.
Joe.
There shouldn't be an expectation for actors to do so. As long as you portrayed the story correctly, that in itself is good.
Because they just get treated like shit. I didn't get treated like shit. I had Susan.
Anything with a camera in, I'm afraid. It's for everyone's safety and well-being.
Susan Denvers is a new character in the show and she's played by Lucy Speed. We only saw Charlie with some unnamed nurse in the comic, so the show is showing us more details about his stay at the Daffodil Clinic. Pictures on Charlie's wall.
Okay, but how do I talk to my friends?
Well, there is a landline on the ward. Much nicer than DMing your friends on Snapchat or whatever it is you kids are using these days.
Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
Most of our in-show photos this season were directed and shot by our exec producer PAs Iso Attrell and Chloe Cheshire. It's quite a feat of organization from many different departments to fit these mini shoots into the schedule, and it felt like we had more than ever this season, but it's all worth it for the little comic accurate details.
They were changing like
No! No! You're gonna look really silly with that lean back.
Did you get that changed?
Yeah! Twiddle time. It's twiddle time with Em and Joe.
With M.
What's
And Joe is
happening?
there.
At least turn it off first. You're not going to have any battery left on that thing. From my research, most ED wards allow some limited phone time these days.
Rise and shine, Mr. Spring. It's a beautiful new day.
I always find it funny on TV when they draw or paint something, but they just do a little line or blob of paint on an already finished thing. Alice said on Tumblr that Charlie's drawing the Winged Victory of Samothrace, one of the most famous statues in the Louvre, which he would have seen on the Paris trip.
Mine's bad.
We can't all be artists.
And it's also where I met Jeff.
Hi, Charlie. I'm Jeff.
Jeff Young, played by Eddie Marsan on the show, was Charlie's therapist in the comic, but originally he had a different therapist at the clinic. This was clearly changed in the show so that we can have Charlie's full therapy arc with Jeff, even though it doesn't make the most sense that Jeff would work on the ward and with outside patients that have to travel from far away to see him. Also, a moment of silence for everyone who only realized in this moment in the show that his name isn't pronounced Geoff.
I'm going to be your therapist while you're here.
Quote from Eddie Marsan.
I'm so proud to be playing the therapist Jeff in Heartstopper Season 3, and I'm so pleased that the scenes between Jeff and Charlie are having such a positive effect on the young people watching. I know from personal experience how valuable a tool therapy can be.
You've got some brilliant names in this: Olivia Colman, Jonathan Bailey, Eddie Marsan, and you say that he would be pretty good doing the job that he plays in the show.
Yeah, he plays my therapist in the show, and I want him as my therapist. I think I'd need a therapist a lot less if I had Eddie Marsan as a therapist. He's such a wonderful actor and really thoughtful.
Is he a good listener?
Yeah, great listener.
Yeah. See, it's good. You could have a sideline.
Yeah. I don't think he needs one, but if he ever did, he can go into it.
Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
Jeff is very straight-talking, but with a kind heart and humor as well. I really love the scenes between Jeff and Charlie as they can dig into what Charlie's been feeling and experiencing in quite a complex way.
Should we sit down and get to know each other? Have a little chat?
He is very sort of straight-talking, like will just say it how it is, but also he's kind and he's funny, and I love getting to see Charlie opening up and really speaking about his problems to someone who is not directly involved in the situation.
I still had to do schoolwork, which actually made me feel better, knowing I wasn't going to be behind everyone else when I got out of there.
What are you studying?
It's just chemistry.
I hate chemistry. Never understood it.
I just knew Alice would make the clinic really diverse and there might be another boy there. We never saw details in the comic. Before Season 3, I personally got a little fixated on researching what eating disorder clinics are like and what Charlie's stay there may have been like. I found a documentary called Anorexia, A Boy in a Girl's World by BBC Newsbeat that tells about a teen boy's experience as the only boy on his eating disorder ward and how isolating that was as an experience. I got it in my head that I wished Charlie's story could highlight this, and I just knew Alice wouldn't go that route because her style is to go for lots of representation. I think that men and eating disorders is an underrepresented topic that has potential for very insightful stories, and this one story simply cannot cover every angle.
And I met a few nice people. Probably not like lifelong friends, but I wasn't alone. I think a part of me didn't even want to get better, because putting in the effort to change seemed too hard. I can't.
I know you can.
I thought food was something I could control, but it was the other way around. could have called Nick whenever I wanted. I was still feeling so horrible and I didn't want him to worry.
Whoops! I forgot about this moment of Charlie wearing Nick's jumper when I made the little compilation of Charlie and Nick's jumpers in episode 3.
I don't even know what I would have said to him. I hate it here and I can't stop crying. I don't really get it.
For some people, an eating disorder is about body image, losing weight, calorie counting. But from my perspective, your eating disorder is connected to obsessions and compulsions. Eating the right thing at the right time and in the right circumstances. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah.
And when those obsessions become particularly intense, that can trigger the urge to self-harm.
Yeah.
So let's unpack that.
The actual eating disorder treatment stuff was not very fun.
Well, I wanted to see Charlie go on the full journey. I wanted to see how things get really bad for him, what things are like when he is in that dark place, but then to also see him get out of that and how he gets out of that and the steps that he takes towards recovery. Because the message of Heartstopper has always been things are going to get better and things are going to be okay in the end. And even when we're showing such dark topics, something like an eating disorder, which is really, really difficult and for people to go through, that Heartstopper message is still true. You know, things are going to get better and things are going to be okay. So yeah, I really wanted to see us go on like the full arc for Charlie, and I think we achieved that, yeah.
I did like a lot of research and talked to a lot of people about the best way to portray it, and you know, with experiences of people around me, and yeah, I tried to. I think the most you can do as an actor is try to be as truthful as you can. So that's what we did.
Each morning it gets a bit easier to face the day.
Couldn't eat lunch today. I don't know what else to say, so I'm going to speak in this low tone and make it seem like I'm sad.
I found the scenes with the therapist scenes quite difficult, not only because Eddie Marsden's an amazing actor and it was very cool to get to work with him and quite daunting, but also, I don't know, that's such a sensitive topic that it's really hard to get right.
Nick really wants to talk to you.
Yeah, I want to talk to him too.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility. I mean, I think a lot of that did sort of fall on Joe's shoulders last season, and in a way, all I had to really do was actually support him in that endeavour as well. I don't know. Again, it's like I think those topics can be quite triggering if you really let yourself get sort of swallowed up by them. I wouldn't say that I have a process as an actor really, but I'm definitely not somebody that goes really method and really, I think it's kind of important to leave those things as much as you can on set and yeah, not maybe get too bogged down and indulge in it in your performance maybe. Also, it's just like I have so much love for Joe as a person that like there is a slight sort of crossover moment where your brain, when you're watching his lovely little face like crumpling and he's saying those words, your brain can sometimes sort of flicker between going what's real and what's not, and it's just sad to like see your friend having to even replicate those emotions because it's so I think it was quite easy because I just had to watch it go down.
Yeah. He's my favourite. Your friends are quite annoying, but I like him.
It's so sweet that we get this admission after we've seen that Nick's been worried about whether Tori likes him or not. Of course, Tori being Tori, she would never tell Nick this, but I hope Charlie finds a way to relay this information to him that he's accepted by Charlie's family.
If I let you call your boyfriend, do you solemnly swear that you'll stop telling me how amazing and wonderful he is and making me feel forever alone?
I don't know if I can promise that.
Oh, I tried to stand up for myself.
Susan is here to give a voice to the voiceless, namely all the single Heartstopper fans who love the show but also hate it because, well, you know.
Wish I had a boyfriend. Could you do me a favour before I go? Could you look up Tao's number?
If he thought about this ahead of time, he could have written down everyone's numbers before giving up his phone.
I've been making you a present.
You don't have to do that.
Shut up, yes I do.
Okay, what is it?
It's a surprise.
Then why'd you mention it?
Fine, I won't say anything this time.
I do appreciate that being terrible at keeping secrets is a consistent character trait for Tao. Sure, it manifests in him being the reason Charlie gets outed accidentally, but with these moments we see how it's kind of a lovable trait, because it's always because he's excited for something and will consequently spoil surprise birthday and gift plans.
Sorry I didn't tell you about all of this.
I didn't exactly make it easy for you.
You were having your summer of love. It's not a crime.
Yeah, well, I love you too. So, can I ask you how you are? Or is that kind of a shit question right now?
Yeah, it's kind of a shit question right now.
Is it horrible there?
No, it's not horrible.
I really appreciate that we got more of a look into what Charlie's stay at the ward was like. Personally, I would be interested to see more about it, but I'm happy it got expanded from the glimpses we got in the comic. Opinions vary in the fandom whether Charlie's hospital stay was given enough focus and screen time. There's obviously a good reason why the negatives were kept vague. We still want people to be encouraged to seek help.
It's hard, and I wish I was at home, but I think it was a good decision.
Well, that makes me feel better. Not that how I feel matters at all, but, you know.
It does matter.
I hate that you were so... and I had no idea.
I was good at hiding it.
Again, to all of those people who think Charlie's eating disorder came out of nowhere, it didn't, and it being so hidden until now is the point. To those people who never read Solitaire, it came as a big surprise, but this just shows that Charlie is a multifaceted character and people can have all sorts of struggles that don't necessarily fit your idea of how a person is supposed to be.
Can you explain to me what happened with Imogen and Zahar? Because Nick was being way too empathetic about it and I actually don't really know what happened.
I'm kind of dying to know how Nick fumbled telling this story.
He's got this vintage video camera and he's made this film or documentary. I'm not actually sure.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Marga!
When I first saw this, I was like, there's no way the quality of that camcorder would be that bad. I had one just like it, but then I checked out my own old videos and turns out it was pretty accurate. Quote from DOP Simona Shushna.
We wanted to have the real texture of mini DV rather than replicate the mini DV look in post-production, so I chose to go down that route. The mini DV camera behaves differently than the Alexa Mini LF, especially in the hands of a young actor. With the mini DV, we split the operation between me and the actors, allowing them to be behind the camera at times. That was really fun, and it added a more subjective feel to the shots, having the actor operate it themselves. It was also very user-friendly for the actors, which made it easier for them to interact with it when needed.
Hi, my name is Tao Su, and this is my short film about the everyday lives of my friends group.
I think with Tao, one thing we did this season, we looked at when he gets the camera and he starts making his own films.
Yes, the vlogging.
Looked at some references of different directors on set and how directors dress and like quirky hats and scarves, casual but with some sort of formal elements. So we looked at some different references for that, and so then in the fittings with Will, there was certain things we picked out, and the scarf, and there was a hat that he wears in one of the scenes, and that was kind of this evolution into this slightly directorial fashion that he was playing with. So that was quite fun to get in.
Well, my friends group -1, who we all love very much. I hope that by watching this video, he'll feel like he's been here the whole time, because in a metaphorical way, he has.
Tao, that doesn't even make any sense.
Why is Isaac being such a hater?
It does. Here begins the film.
You can find Tao's short film on Letterboxd.
Hey, Charlie. I read the Song of Achilles, like you suggested, and I know you said it was going to have a sad ending, but I wasn't prepared and I cried for about 4 hours, so thank you for that. Really appreciate that.
A book that made me cry is a book called The Song of Achilles. It's a lovely book. You should all read it. And yeah.
I was reading The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller a few weeks ago. Have you read that?
I haven't, but it's on my bookshelf waiting to be read.
You must read it. It's very good. But it's like if you've got like loads of stuff going on in life, and life's beating you down, or you're just having a rough time, and then you open a page in a book, and like you've got. I won't spoil it for you, but you're bawling your eyes out at these characters in a book. You're like, do you know what? Life's not that bad.
I'm kind of mad at you, actually, because I asked you if you were okay, and I guess you just lied.
I think it's really interesting that this kind of perspective was openly included here, and I saw many people were taken aback by it. Isaac's frustration is understandable because it sucks when you can tell something is wrong, but your friend won't let you in and allow you to try and help. But if your friend doesn't want to open up to you, it's just where they're at, and although it's hard not to take that personally, in this case at least it's not about Isaac. Isaac kind of also has to come to terms with the fact that he can't save Charlie, or force Charlie to let him in beyond his boundaries. Charlie has to learn for himself how to share and put himself in that vulnerable position. Isaac is being very honest here, and it's a matter of opinion whether or not it's appropriate to let Charlie know about these feelings in this way.
I mean, I sort of knew that. It's not your fault though, Charlie, I know. I hope that when you get back, you don't feel like you have to lie to us anymore. Because you don't. We're never going to judge you. We love you, so yeah.
Oh my God.
Hot off the press, guys. Barbie and Dracula seen making out at a house party.
David's our lovely intimacy coordinator.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
So he choreographs all of the kissing and the acts.
That was very Miranda. I like that. So you have someone like actually look after that and make sure that everyone is comfortable.
Exactly, and I think it's really important. I feel like personally, because it's somebody who's external to the director or the actors who can objectively look at it and like nurture that moment. And I think it actually, on a storytelling level, it makes it better, as well as on a safety level for actors as well. Yeah. So I'm a big advocate for intimacy coordinators.
We had lots of times in rehearsal before we started shooting to discuss with David, with the intimacy coordinator David, what these moments meant for each character. That really helped flesh out like how we would go about creating these intimate moments, you know. So the first kiss, we knew that it was more messy and drunk fueled and more light-hearted and fun. And then we discussed as well for the New Year's one a bit more passion and a bit more care. So yeah, it was really fun. And me and Ria, we're good friends. We text quite a lot as well. So I'm sure we texted and maybe called over that as well. My memory is tragic when it comes to things like this, but yeah, we definitely spoke about it a lot because we wanted to make sure that we both understood. I understood Sahar's point of view, but I also understood Imogen's point of view in these moments, which I think is so important because these characters we're creating are human, you know, and humans are complex and deal with so many different things. So it was important to flesh those moments out, especially with David. And we went over like important things in terms of intimacy. So we talked about like boundaries and what we were comfortable with and what we weren't so comfortable with, and creating a safe space before we created those intimate scenes as well.
What is going on here?
I'll be honest, is there a little kiss?
There is some snogging. There's some drunken snogging as well as. It's mainly drunken snogging, actually. It's an interesting thing to film because you're sort of like pretending to be drunk, kissing when you're sober is. And
it's like 8 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're acting, it is sometimes hard not to go too far. You know, like you see some acting, and you know you're playing around, you're doing drunk acting, and it's easy to go like too far that way. So finding that balance is good, but the whole atmosphere of it, when you're on those scenes, you really feel it, especially with Ria. She's so great at just turning on like that. So she's great at leading that. And I kind of, you know, I kind of follow her lead the times in those scenes. The atmosphere of like the party dynamic, you kind of just get into the groove of it. It is a funny one to navigate, being drunk and kissing and trying to be messy but also vulnerable.
Is this just a joke to you?
I really feel bad for Sahar because I'm like, oh, you know, because Sahar really does have feelings for Imogen, and she always has. In a way, Sahar looks at Imogen as like the one that got away, if you know what I mean, the first person that she really realized that she had feelings for. So I think, yeah, it's just human to she's really enjoying this moment with Imogen. It's like all her dreams come true in a way, and then to realize that it's not reciprocated and it's just a joke with her it's like gut-wrenchingly painful, right? I know that if I was to experience that, I would be so hurt. So I think it's human. It's, you know, the show is so good at making at showing things that really do happen to us, and I think this is just another one of those things that really do happen. You know, we at one point in all of our lives, we're gonna really like someone that doesn't feel it as well, and to have and all, yeah, it's kind of like it's like betrayal, but not so bad. It's just painful. It's just pain. It's just crap.
Cut the camera. It's breaking my documentary code of ethics.
And he still kept it in the final edit anyway.
Hi, Charlie. I just wanted to let you know I'm trying out they, them pronouns. I'm just seeing how I feel. I don't know, but I feel like you get it.
So when we first started filming, I identified as a girl. And, you know, Darcy was a girl. It came quite naturally. And then as I began to think about it and as I began to explore, I spoke to Yasmin, who plays Elle, and she had some good advice. And I spoke to the cast and the crew. You know, we got the pronouns on the call sheet. And I'm just happy. You know, the show didn't have to do that for me. The show didn't have to make me feel so comfortable about understanding and exploring it. And they've been so good with so many of the changes, and I also think it makes sense for Darcy too. And I'm lucky it did. You know, if I like Tara, that's not something that Tara would do. And Darcy's casualness about her sexuality and her casualness about her gender identity, they're both really big, important things that mean a lot to her. But she doesn't like to make a big deal. And I think that's what I wanted for Darcy, is for it to be just there. Like, I think that's one of the main strengths of Heartstopper's representation, is that some of it is so casual. You know, it's not always a big song and dance about being queer. Sometimes it's just one part of you. And I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy that I get to add something of myself into the character.
He gets it.
Yeah. Really? It's sweet of Darcy to save this reveal for Charlie like this.
Tell him.
So I posted a new painting on Instagram, and now I have over 10,000 followers.
Wow.
I have some cynical, possibly bitter and envious thoughts about the likelihood of that happening, but I'll go into it in a later episode.
My girlfriend is a famous artist.
10,000's not that many.
Now, Alice would say that. Her art account has over 700,000 followers. 10,000 is massive for an art account, actually. For comparison, the artist who draws these gorgeous pencil drawings, Prince Gallery, has 5,500 plus followers.
Let me introduce you to Higgs' newest school prefect.
It's not a big deal. It's the biggest deal. My girlfriend is the smartest person in the entire world. She's a prefect. She goes to the Oxbridge prep group.
Well, I'm a Capricorn. Tara's very Capricorn energy. She prefects, like ballet. She's work focused, isn't she? Uni. So yeah.
She dances. She plays the clarinet.
Stop. Tal, give me that.
Quote from writer Alice Oseman when asked if Will was the one filming the video.
Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. If he's clearly holding the camera in the scene shot, then yes, Will is probably filming. However, if Tao is just behind the camera and we don't see him, it's probably instead Simona, our DOP, who is filming. If Tao is holding the camera in a scene that we're seeing not in the camera footage, aka in a normal shot, then he's usually holding a fake version of the camera to prevent the real thing from getting damaged.
I don't know if you have a phone in there, Charlie, but I think he'd like to hear your voice.
Nick doesn't really participate in this video project, so in a way at this point both Nick and Charlie are avoiding each other because they don't want the other to see how hard this is for them.
Say hi to Charlie, sir. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
There's a spare seat waiting for you for when you get back. Thanks, Tao.
Bye, Charlie.
Thank you, Tao.
Bye, Tao.
Okay.
I gotta say, the track record of stealth and subtlety for the local gays is not great.
I know this looks like a painting for you, but if this turns out really good, then I'm keeping it.
Keeping it is actually a better idea in my opinion. Giving people portraits of themselves can be a bit awkward actually, because most people may not want to display a big picture of their own face on their walls. I'm speaking from experience here as the one who made the mistake of giving someone a portrait of their own face. Also, you know already that it turned out good. You've already finished the face.
I miss you, Charlie. I love you.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
I think this is the end of the video now. Maybe. We just want to say that when you get home, we've got a lot planned.
Do we? Oh, God.
Quote from Jenny Walser.
All of the camcorder footage really grounds it. It makes them seem so much more real. I just think that Toby Donovan as Isaac is even funnier than usual this season. I think every single character has some real light and some real shade, more so than any other season.
There's just a lot to look forward to, that's what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
And we love you, and we miss you, and our friends group really isn't the same without you.
Do you remember what were some of your, first reactions or memories from reading the script?
I remember crying over the end of episode 4, the Tao's video. I both thought it was really lovely, and I love the way that episode sort of changes the way that Heartstopper. I think Heartstopper's like every episode's sort of been very chronological, whereas I like the way in season 4 it changes the format a bit. I think it's really effective. Not season 4, episode 4.
But we know you're doing what you need to do right now, and I hope that this video makes you feel loved.
Yeah. Although I am still mad at you about the Song of Achilles.
What's that?
It's a book thing, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Nicholas Nelson, what do you have to say to your boyfriend Charlie Spring?
Hi, Charlie.
Thank you, executive producer Patrick Walters, for making it hard to unhear "Hi, Jolly." Really appreciate it.
Hi, Charlie. I love you.
Being at the clinic didn't magically cure me of mental illness.
I know it's scary, but you're ready for this, Charlie. And we can carry on our sessions once a week for as long as you need.
But it got me out of the deep end.
Like I mentioned before, in the comic Charlie only started therapy with Jeff after the hospital stay. It's nice that in this version he gets to keep the relationship he's already built with his therapist. I always feel like it's such a waste of time in the first sessions when you start with a new therapist to give them the same summary about your life.
You are going to be all right. Just trust yourself. Right, kicking you out now.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
I like the season 3 stuff. It's quite emotional, which weirdly isn't really enjoyable to shoot. There's something like strangely sadistic about that, but yeah, I mean all of season 3 is emotional, and yeah.
Agreed, completely. And you did the best job. So that was it made me quite emotional overall, just like watching this person who's essentially now like my brother, who I've seen flourish over the however many years that we've been filming. To see you like take on that challenge and smash it and be so gracious about it that whole process was emotional for me.
Merci.
Maybe I won't ever get back to normal, whatever that is. I think that's okay though. It's not going to be a straightforward journey. It's probably just the beginning.
Yeah, it's important for audiences to see that if you're struggling with anything, you can get through it, because that's it. It's crap and it's life, but you can do it.
Hey, dinner at 7?
Yeah.
It says lasagna on your meal plan for today's. Is that all right?
Yeah. Do I have time to go and say hi to Nick? I'll be back for dinner, I promise.
Okay. Go on then.
I've seen a lot of people interpret Charlie's relationship with Jane as solely a toxic relationship that leads to the kids going no contact as adults. It's actually so painful to give up on your parents that you need to have a really horrible relationship to make that choice. I see a lot of familiar things here, and I don't think that's what's going to happen to them. I think Charlie and Jane will get along so much better when Charlie's moved out of the house and has more freedom. They have these nice moments of care and understanding sprinkled in there. Once upon a time, even pressing that doorbell took so much courage. The famous comic panel states that Charlie came home in early December. On the show, he seemingly gets home a bit later, right before Christmas. He showed Charlie a happy face, but when he's no longer observed, he crumbles as the weight of everything settles on him. Quote from animator Anna Perinetto.
Wintertime calls for festive spirits, sparkle, and light all around, and a sense of celebration and joy. I must say, I really like Christmas, but I also know it can be a difficult time for some of us, for so many different reasons. It can be as joyful for some as it can be painful for others, and family gathering can be extremely difficult to deal with, especially for queer people, or for people who struggle with mental health. It's okay if you hate it. It's okay if you love it. It's okay if it stresses you out. Remember, family and togetherness looks different for each and everyone. Find the way that works for you. If you are feeling particularly lonely, please ask for help. Just leaving a link here in case you need it. www.wannatalkaboutit.com.
Charlie goes through some very dark times, but through the season we also see him come out of that dark place. And with the support of his friends, his loved ones, people like therapists and medical professionals, he is able to find a path towards recovery.
RIP to this scene of them going to a skating rink. And that's the end of episode 4, the big one. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, liking and subscribing, and extra thanks to those of you watching this in early access from my Patreon. Your support means the world to me. This is a heavy episode, but I hope I was able to bring some levity to it here and there. I hope to see you in the next one.